Welcome to Lesson 4. In this lesson, we'll be talking about accommodation plans. So, what are they, and how do you create one? Well, we'll also be talking about why they are important when it comes to building an equitable and accessible workplace. So, what is an accommodation plan? An accommodation plan is a written document that outlines how an employer is going to accommodate an employee, how they are going to address the employee's situation or meet the employee's needs. You create an accommodation plan when an employee submits an accommodation request. The idea is to work with the employee who submitted the request to come up with a plan or blueprint for how their needs will be met. Collaborating helps ensure the plan works for both the employer and the employee. So, both the employer and the employee are responsible for creating the accommodation plan. They are also both responsible for implementing the plan and for monitoring its progress. The plan itself should outline the specific responsibilities of each party. So, what is the employer responsible for? And what is the employee responsible for? Some accommodation plans might only include one form of support, for example, assistive technology. Other plans might include a variety of supports like time off, the ability to work remotely, and assistive technology. It really just depends on the specific needs of that employee and the things that are going to help them do their job more fully or more effectively. That's why full participation of both employer and employee is essential when it comes to accommodation plans. The employer has no way of knowing what the employee's needs are beyond the basics. They have no way of knowing what is going to work best for that employee. They also have no way of knowing how things are going once the accommodation plan has been implemented. They have to work with the employee to see if the plan they came up with is actually working and to see if it needs to be revised. So employers should not be coming up with accommodation plans on their own, assuming they know what's best for the employees. And employees cannot leave everything up to their employers, assuming their employers know exactly how to meet their needs. That's simply unreasonable. The employer and employee need to work together, mapping out a plan that makes sense for both of them. One organization's accommodation plans are going to look different from another organization's accommodation plans, and that's okay. It's important to do what's right for your organization. But in case you were wondering, here are some of the things that an accommodation plan sometimes include. First, a lot of accommodation plans start with a detailed description of the accommodation. So what's being modified or adjusted to accommodate the employee? How many supports are in place? 1, 2, 5? And how exactly are these supports going to help the employee succeed? Second, most accommodation plans include some kind of time factor, like a deadline or schedule for when you are going to circle back, so to speak, and assess the plan's effectiveness. So they include a review date. Third, accommodation plans generally list any equipment or software that might be required. And fourth, the average accommodation plan outlines the roles and responsibilities of both employer and employee. If you are having a hard time visualizing all of this, I encourage you to check out the accommodation plan template that's linked in the PDF. It was developed by Jedi Hub Consultants and is there to help you ease into the process of creating your own accommodation plans for your own organization. This brings us to the end of Lesson 4. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in Lesson 5.